This is the Violent Professional Podcast.
Hello, everybody. This is Whiskey Mike for the Violent Professional Podcast. I had a rough start on this last one. I had to restart the whole fucking episode because I just was like, I sat there, was recording, and I was like, this is fucking retarded. What the fuck am I doing? Why do I do this for? Anyway, these glasses are all fucked up. These glasses are all fucked up, even though I look great. Maybe there's a little fucking fingerprints. If you can't see it, you're missing out. So Hubert Cumberdale glasses. Sorry if they're fucking smudged and you're looking at them. All right. Look at this. Look at this hair on the side. Growing out my hair again, peeps. You know, you saw it a little bit ago, but got a haircut in between. Look at this shit. I look fucking fantastico. This is the Violent Professional Podcast. I am Whiskey Mike, and I'm here to entertain you. That's what I'm here for. And hopefully, in the process, I entertain myself because that's the whole point of this fucking thing. It's the whole point of everything. I like to entertain myself, you know? You as a byproduct, you get entertained by it. Hopefully you do enjoy this. Hopefully everybody that listens enjoys this episode and doesn't not subscribe. You should subscribe because it helps podcasts grow. It's grown well since I started this whole fucking thing. You know, some people might expect me to do certain shit, but I talk about what I want to talk about. And what I want to talk about is silly shit that happens in my everyday life. Things that I notice around the globe. International news. I want to provide some levity to all that shit. So hopefully if you do enjoy this episode, you will subscribe to it because it will help this grow. It will help me have more motivation to do it. Even though I'm motivated as fuck right now, life gets in the way. Life seriously gets in the fucking way. All right. And I'm trying to get back to the podcast. I love it so much. And you all mean the world to me. Everybody who listens to this episode or hears the sultry sound of my voice. Anywho, so lately, as you know, I partake in the Colorado Kool-Aid. I enjoy it. I love it so much. That's Coors Light, Bud Light, any fucking light beer. You know, fuck your IPAs. You an IPA drinker? Get the fuck out of here. You like eating earwax too? So that's what it tastes like. Don't ask me how I fucking know that. It's disgusting. You're fooling yourself if you drink that, David. No insult to any Davids out there, but come on. You're only drinking it because it's fucking trendy. What are you drinking a beer with a fucking with some sort of Russian paraphernalia all over it? You're supporting communism by drinking IPAs? Get the fuck out of here with your communist and socialist and other kind of fucking type of IPAs. And don't give me that shit that it's more manly to drink it. Fuck you. You know what's manly? Putting on my goddamn shades, getting a light beer and getting as fucked up as quickly as possible. That's what I am about. Or I used to be, because now I'm running and I decided like that's my new thing. So anyway, I purchased a new watch because I felt like it was time to reward myself. I've done good work over the past 2 years. I know I've been a fucking ghost. I've been MIA for the past 2 years. But I felt, you know, I'm not a watch guy either. I'm not a big watch guy. I hear some of my friends talk about watches, and I'm like, you fucking nerds. Like, there's so much, like, it's you know, people and men have these weird things that they get, like, into highly, you know? They get into, like, cars are cool, right? I think cars are cool. And there's other things that dudes will get into, or, like, and people in general. This is a fucking very diverse show, as you know. There's, you know, I'd like to be inclusive on this show and talk shit about everybody. But one of the weird ones that I don't get, and I'm sort of getting it now, but I don't have like a fancy like mechanical watch that you twist and you put on the the little dial thing that spins and gets its circadian rhythm and the fucking Coriolis effect going. I don't understand that shit. It's very interesting, like the idea of like all these little fucking fingered people. Like I couldn't make a watch. Like look at these mitts, dude. These things will engulf your whole head, and they're sausage fingers. Like you think I could fucking like? You think I could go and toil and like craft a watch with these fucking mitts? Look at this fucked up finger. This is the one I sliced my goddamn finger with the fucking knife years ago. It's crooked like a question mark. This looks like Forrest Gump's back. All right? Anyway, I can't make a watch is what I'm saying. So therefore I don't understand it. I don't want anything to do with it. Like, and I'm talking about like watches that, you got to have little fingers to fucking put together. I assume you're a little person that fucking puts watches together. You have those little gears, and you take a little fucking tweezer, and you're like, oh, yes, this will do, and you speak in like a German fucking accent. And pretend you're not associated with the 1940s Third Reich or some shit. Anyway, all of you are supporting slavery and fucking human trafficking. So let's just get that out of the way, all right? Anyway, I'm not into watches. Long story short, I'm not into watches, all right? But I did pick up a watch recently. Oddly enough, I'm not into watches. My phone just fell. I picked up a watch. But it's a digital watch, it's a smart watch. It's a clever watch. It is. It knows everything about me. It's creepily, it knows everything about me, and I only assume that it's using the data to send a TikTok to like let them know what I'm doing at all times. Like that's all I could think. But it's a Garmin Fenix 7X Solar, and I don't know why I picked the solar one. I like the big watch face. I'll show the people that are watching. Look at that. Can't even turn my wrist. Look at that shit. It keeps track of a bunch of stuff. And it harasses you and embarrasses you into thinking that you're a fat fuck. So there's one day I got enough notifications. It's like, hey, you should really stop drinking beer. You should really stop eating those Takis. First off, your fingernails look like you haven't cleaned yourself in about a week. They're red, and your son's supposed to want those, not you. They're disgusting. I honestly, it made me feel like I should be working out just having it. It like tells me what my heart rate is. It was like when I first got it, my heart rate looked like someone who was devouring nothing but pig fat for a while. Because as I've said, and and you've seen me fucking devolve into some sort of weird looking fat bodied extraterrestrial. I like to drink, I do like it. I'm not going to shame people that like to drink other than fucking faggy-ass IPA drinkers. What are you doing? And saying that is totally worth being like having the show shut down and them kicking me off of any platform by saying those words because I mean it. Anyway, like my heart rate was skyrocketing. My blood was skyrocketing. My blood pressure was through the roof. Okay? And so I decided to do something about it, and this watch has assisted me in getting off my fucking ass and going to hit the pavement. I've been running like a fucking fiend lately, and it's because of the watch. Thank you, Garmin. Even though I assume that my data is being stored in some sort of a fucking computer database so that next it's going to make me get like 23andMe, and then I'll fucking ship my DNA to Mars. Because how the fuck are we getting there? How are we getting to Mars? You think we're going to take spaceships? No. They're going to fucking sequence our DNA into digital thumb drives and blast that shit onto an organic 3D printer on the surface of Mars, and then they just develop us. We don't even have to be born. You don't have to go through the embarrassment of sliding out your mom's puss. You know what I mean? Like you've been fucking sitting in your mother's wastebasket for fucking months on end inside of your mother's stomach, and then one day she decides to shit you out through her fucking labia, just a fucking big pile of shit with an alien tentacle on the inside, and then the father has to come over and cut it, and then pretend like he doesn't want to puke. This is so beautiful. No, it's not. You know what's beautiful? Science. Fucking send people over a fucking radio wave to fucking Mars and have them printed on organic 3D printers. Brought to you by Pfizer. All right? All right? That's the miracle of science. Play God. Play God, everybody. Your fucking future self is printed on a 3D printer brought to you by Pfizer. And it's made with pig fat and fucking pig butts. All right? That's what happened. That's what the future is. I really believe this. I really believe that if you've gotten 23andMe, they distract you with, oh my God, you found your cousin Margaret in fucking Kentucky. And it's like, oh my God, I should meet her. Oh, and then you find out she's a big piece of shit. And you're like, oh my God, 23andMe is not so cool. She's she immediately asked me for money. She's on food stamps and welfare. And she's asking me for fucking lottery tickets. You know? Meanwhile, you could just skip all that shit, get your DNA sequenced, and get shot through a fucking radio wave and teleport to Mars. What's to lose? Your life? Who gives a fuck about that one? Think of your future self and think of humanity. All right? You fucking selfish bastards. Where was I? I was talking about a fucking watch. Anyway, I started running because of this watch. I'm keeping up with it and I feel great. But today I didn't feel so great. You know, wait, let me go back. Okay, I've been putting in miles. Last night I ran 5 miles. 4.5. Come on. I know some of my friends are going to call me out because I told them I ran 4 miles. Well, even that 4.5 miles, even that was a lie. I ran 4.48. All right. I exaggerate and embellish a little bit. It's all for this podcast. I ran and it sucked. It sucked. It was not my best performance ever, but also I've been a big fat bodied person for the past few years, probably 5 years. Stopped working out for a while. Tried. It was all nonsense. Like I had a gym a few years ago, and then I just stopped. I sold off all the gym equipment. I was like, I'm just gonna do this now. My career is drinking. That's what I'm doing. All right, but it's highly enjoyable. It's not good for your body. Like it's good for your sanity. Like while it's happening to a certain point, you get to that point where it's just like, now I'm fucking sad. And then you wake up the next day and you feel like shit. I ended up getting to a place with my drinking career where I couldn't even drink a fucking beer. And I wake up feeling like straight hot fucking dookie shit. So, I decided like running's my fucking next thing. That's cool. It's good for me, right? It's an addiction in itself. I get a lot of ideas. I decided to fucking record a new episode because I was running. I ran today. I'm training for a fucking 5K. That's like impressive to me. I don't run shit. I fucking hate it. You may know I was in the military, and in my job I had to run a lot in like training and stuff like that. And then over the course of the years you have to run and do stuff. And it's good for you to be in really high performance shape. But then I decided that that's not as fucking fun as drinking beer and making content, you know? That's much funner. I don't like getting told to fucking do PT tests or whatever. So, but I couldn't do it anymore. I'm fucking 40. I can't keep doing this. And like, it's a sign when it's like you go to Vegas on trips and then like, you run into a bunch of fucking British people for some reason, and then they're drinking like gin and taking shots of it. Like who the fuck does that? But you're like 6 beers deep. So you're like, that's a great idea. That, what would make this time better is if I'm already fucked up and then I do shots of gin, something that doesn't actually metabolize, and you have to sweat it out for like 5 days. You're just walking around like a cracked out drunk person. And then I decided that I turned 40 this past year, and it's time to fucking stop that. Like, this should be my silliest shit that I do. I shouldn't wake up and go, oh, thank God I'm not in fucking jail this time. I shouldn't do that. So I'm running now. That's great. So, you heard me talk about this stuff years ago and going on and off on my fucking fitness journey. So that's what I'm doing now. And it sucks balls, man, but it sucks more balls. And when you're like running and out there and it's super cold and stuff like that, and it's raining and you're just like, I don't want to fucking do this. But pre-allegations, Andrew Tate told me, you have to do it anyway. So I said that because I don't, the jury's still out on this one. Who knows if that dude was a sex trafficker or not? All I do know is that he has a bald head and he fucking can kick the shit out of people. And he does motivational stuff, and I like the cut of his jib. You know what I mean? But he kind of makes you feel like shit when you listen to him talk. Now, this is pre-allegation Andrew Tate. I don't know. Maybe next week I won't be such a fan of him. Who knows? But so I started running because multiple reasons. It's good for me. That's the main fucking thing. I had this watch that embarrasses you and it ranks you against other people. This motherfucker from Tacoma is like constantly like, I do all the steps from the day that it's like has a goal for me. It sets goals for you. It's like, okay, fatty, do 100 steps this week. And then you do it. And this motherfucker in Tacoma, right up the road from here, like, you're like, I got him. I got number 1 this week for this fucking 100-step challenge. And this fucking piece of shit up in Tacoma beat you. He just goes out and walks 5 miles. You're like, you fucking son of a bitch. But you know what it's doing? It's making me healthier. I'm happier. I'm glad to do it. And I'm going to see how long it goes before I'm just like, man, fuck that. I'm going to drink again. So anyway, I ran last night, all right? I ran that 4.5 miles. And, but before I was like, it's raining. It's Pacific Northwest. You know it rains up here. You already know that. So I was like, I got to go to my favorite establishment ever, Walmart, because they're rolling back prices daily. And also, they got sweatpants there. It's gray sweatpants season year-round in Washington. So you know that they got that shit on lock. And they got it for a reasonable price. Rolling back prices. I used to, as a kid, listen to or watch the fucking Walmart commercials. And they had the happy face. I wish they brought that back. And he was rolling back prices. He'd like jump on the fucking price tag and like the numbers would fall down. Comment and fucking like this episode if you remember that shit. Good old days, right? So I went there, got some sweatpants, and I quickly realized that like they're making everything tight these days because it's really hard to find anything that's like a little bit loose fitting, you know? I feel like all the homeless people have them. I ain't seeing no fucking skinny sweatpants wearing homeless people around here. They're all wearing like baggy as shit clothes. Where are they like getting all those clothes? What the fuck's happening? Anyway, I get some sweatpants and they're like fitness sweatpants, Russell Athletic, you know, some fucking quality shit from a sweatshop in China. And so I'm like, I'm doing this now. I'm like, man, they're really tight around the calf. I got these pipes going down from my fucking torso, and they're just so fucking beefy that I just fill everything out. And there's not much room for activities, so to speak. So, I put them on and I'm like, I'm going for a run, and I do the 4.5 miles, and it's dark out. And I'm getting wet because it's raining out. You know what I should have said? I'm getting wet because all the fucking chicks are driving by and they're just squirting pussy juice everywhere, seeing me in these shades and these fucking sweatpants. I don't want to. I'm wearing them right now. I don't want to show you because you might like all the chicks that watch the fucking YouTube might glaze the camera. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I'm running and I'm like, it's fucking great. I did 4.5 miles. I feel good about myself. I got a little food. I got a little sleep. It tells me my sleep performance. So China knows I'm asleep. So when they invade, they can fucking know when I'm in the middle of my REM cycle, and they can just go fucking slit my throat. You know, it makes it easier. Everybody's walking around in smartwatches, and China's like, we know when all these motherfuckers are at their most vulnerable. So anyway, I decide today, because I'm on a fucking training program, a running training program is also what this watch does, and the fucking fine people at Garmin have come up with. They got coaches for each person. You can pick your coach to go after whatever goals you're setting for yourself, your future, and your family. And, sweatpants are hitting a little bit different today, so to speak. I'm running. I'm doing my fucking, my build up to this training program, and I'm realizing I'm looking down as I'm watching my feet go back and forth, and I'm kind of like looking down and up on the horizon, looking towards the future. But then I catch a glimpse of something that is just so fucking shocking. You know, normally I walk around and I would expect that I'd see like a swoosh in my fucking pants, but no, like my dick was probably the smallest that I've ever seen it ever. It's like it's just poking out, and it's like poking straight out. It's like my balls were propping my fucking dick up, and the dick was like a fucking miniature fucking Tootsie Roll or something, like in sweatpants. It probably looked like this. Like if you could see that, my dick was poking out about a half inch, and I was like, where the fuck is the rest of it? It should be by all rights. I've been graced by God with this giant fucking python. I should be swinging back and forth in the sweatpants, but lo and behold, that's not the case today. Not the case. I looked like I was smuggling a muffin with a fucking Tootsie Roll at the top, like a tiny Tootsie Roll. I was like, why are my balls doing that? My fucking thighs are like pushing my ball sack up, and then my dick's poking up. I'm like, I don't even have that's like the world's smallest boner. I'm fucking trying to run. Super embarrassing for myself. But one of the things I was like, man, I was like, if I could see this one, maybe other people could see us. They're like, could have caused a wreck of some sort. I was running on the main road. And I was like, I wonder if everybody's like driving by and just like looking and be like, holy fuck, that dude has the tiniest dick I've ever seen. It's smaller than my wife's. That's what Jethro said when he was like driving by. He's like in his fucking overalls. He's like, God damn, my wife's clit's bigger than his fucking dick. And he's like, ah, fuck. And like smashes into a wall or something. That's a total plausible situation that could have happened. You know? But I didn't witness it. Maybe the dude was thinking about it later and just fucking careened off a bridge onto I-5 or something. Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows? I'm just glad that, as far as I know, everybody survived the vision of my tiny penis. Anyway, I gotta declutter this place. There's a lot of sound equipment on this shelf over here. Anyway, today is a good day. I feel well rested. I feel ready to give you my best performance. I know you're already like, this is such a worthwhile podcast. But I'm ready for you. And I hope you baby birds are ready for me to feed you a little bit of fucking news from the internet. Because that's what I like to do. And we're going to get into more of that. There's a lot of weird shit that happens on the internet. You don't even need to go to the dark web. You know what I mean? Maybe if you go to the dark web, you can get that video of me jerking off by that guy. If you remember that fucking episode. You can find that so I can finally make that Christmas card. Today, I got a DM from a buddy. We have a little group chat, you know, like many of you do. And we send voice messages back and forth because texting is for the fucking lames. It's for the poors. All right. He sent me a message, or he sent both of myself and this other dude a message. And he's like, hey, either of you guys know where I could get a tutor for my kid? You know, his child's suffering in school a little bit, like many kids do, in the middle school age. I know my son suffers in school. I try to help him myself. I don't turn to dark methods like my buddy was going to do. So he asks us, he's like, hey, where do you guys know a tutor for your child in elementary school? And I was like, I ain't got nothing for you, dude. And then my other buddy, he says, I've got a 9-year-old daughter. She's not in middle school yet. I don't feel like I have to tutor her. I do it myself. Or something in that regard. And he goes, oh, okay, well, I think I'm going to go on Craigslist to find a tutor. And I had a lot to say. Let me see if I can pull some of it up. Here. Maybe I should. Maybe there's something I could not find in there. I don't want to pull up something wrong for you guys to hear. But anyway, I talked all kinds of shit to him about it. I felt like the only reason you go on Craigslist is to find all kinds of drugs and prostitution and loose women. That's where you go. And maybe a little missed connections for people that like miss their connections. They're like, I saw you at fucking Starbucks and I thought your boobs were nice. And maybe if you remember me, I'm a 50-year-old guy with the fucking starter jacket on. Like, and it's, hopefully, the lady of your dreams will contact you, you know? So I informed him that was a bad idea, finding a tutor on Craigslist, but he argued me, and he sent me a picture of what I could only assume was a fucking 1980s prostitute and said, this is a tutor. I'm like, bro, you got it all wrong. That chick will teach you how to put your dick in her butt and then shoot your asshole full of heroin. That's what she's going to teach you. And he's like, no, Craigslist is like a legit forum for people to find things. And I'm like, exactly. Let me find you something. So I went to the first tab of Craigslist in the local area. And if you enjoy this, if you enjoy the commentary on what I'm about to read to you, please feel free to let me know if you want us to, myself and some of my buddies to talk about Craigslist in the future, because it's fucking awesome. There's a lot of good shit on there. I did a brief search, so in the future maybe let me know. I'll do more of these, and I'll pull from all across the country. Misconnections in fucking Craigslist is a good time. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to read the title, and then I'm going to read the paragraph. I'm not going to try to say names unless it's like very nondescript, because most of these things are. I think all the 5 examples I have, they're very nondescript about who they are. There's no fucking identifiable information. And that's the weirdest part, because like if you were doing something like a misconnection, you would want somebody to fucking know who you are, but none of these people do. It seems like it's like, hey, I met you at a fucking Applebee's bathroom where like you looked cute and I was washing my hands like right after I took a shit. Call me. And it's like, but you didn't even leave your number. All right, Thomas, what are you doing? Is Don creepy? Don't fall for this creeper. It's like a question and a statement. He's like answering his own fucking question. Don might just be, or hold on. Let me start over, all right? Fuck that up. Don just might be the creepiest person you ever meet. When I say creepy, I mean the kind of creepy where a person delights in pushing the boundaries way past the limit. I mean the kind of person that finds sport in disagreeing with intelligent, able women on things she's made clear there are no. Goddamn, Don. Like it's still up for negotiating. As long as he's still trying. Pathetic loser with kids that won't even talk to him, but they have nowhere to go except live with dad on his shit farm. I fucking love it. Hope you like paying $300 a month, half an hour from anything, to shit in your outhouse and have Don follow you around because he's bored and wants your healthy, able body and intelligence. When I say creepy asshole, I mean it, folks. Not charming, not enthusiastic, not clever, pushy and obnoxious and arrogant and just wanting someone to tell him he's great. Isn't that what we all want? How judgmental of a motherfucker can you be? How dare you tell Don this? The farm is a hot mess and very, very neglected and in disrepair. And this passage has lots of ands in it. A little bit excessive. Maybe Don should write one about you and your use of "and." The farm is a hot mess and very neglected and in disrepair. How about it's been decades since he hasn't been able to keep up with the buildings and animals, vehicles, and the place is a hoarder's dump with hungry animals and rotting buildings? ? How about being such a jerk his kids live there and don't even want to talk to him? Please take care of yourself and know what you're getting into with this asshole of a situation. And if you get there and feel like he's awfully eager to not be alone, how much more of this small talk do I have to put up before I can get back to what I was doing? Why? When I asked him to stop, he says okay and comes right back to doing it and laughs and smiles and tries to be cute about irritating you and pushes your buttons. Dudes that are assholes are lonely for a reason. Wait, there's more! This takes a sharp detour. So, you thought this was about Don. Yeah, I mean, he might be projecting. And no offense to any Dons out there, but Don, if your name's Don, you probably fit this fucking description. He says a lot and you know, a lot of ands. That's the thing. It continues. There's 3 dots. It's continuing on. For dudes that are assholes are lonely for a reason. Then he goes, looking for a healthy, able, fit, intelligent woman who has experience living rustically on a farm. I operate a small 10-acre farm and need help with the upcoming grow season. I am also in the process of building infrastructure, so any building skills are a plus. He's requesting a rough woman. I have a small sawmill and produce my own lumber. Ideally, you have some sort of income, as I do, and could approach this as a team project. I am an older, healthy, and able-bodied guy, but would like to find a mentally fit, mature woman to help me make this happen. I have all the skills and am willing to teach. I grow fruits and veggies and have chickens for meat and eggs. I love to can and have clean organic food throughout the winter. Is there any interest in simple living or any questions? Feel free to ask. No pets and no smoking. Wow. I don't know what's going on in this. So I feel like Don, the first part, is Don creepy? Don't fall for this creeper. Is actually, he's talking about himself. You know what I mean? He's saying a lot of things in this first passage and then gets into, but hey, I want to date an able-bodied woman. And he kind of quotes all the shit in there. It's like, this is what I want. I want a smart, intelligent woman that is not there for shenanigans. He can teach us some stuff, you know? But you better not bring any fucking pets. He ain't got time for fucking pets. I don't know what the fucking point of that is. You know, you need help on your farm? Put a fucking ad out on Craigslist. The irony of living in Happy Valley, huh? More like Crybaby Valley. The only Happy Valley I like is pussy. I think Picasso lived in Happy Valley and painted portraits. My eyes got scared and ran away from after the first post. Happy Vaginarians had a class action lawsuit against Picasso, but the case was quickly won with a mirror. Whatever the fuck that means. Maybe they can get in on the Camp Lejeune payout because there is definitely something in the water. I think we may have found the missing link. You know what I found in a dumpster? Someone from Happy Valley. Winky face emoji. Well, that was very worthwhile and insightful for you to put that on fucking Craigslist. This next one comes out of Skyway, Washington, and I don't know where the fuck that is. Maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe it does. I don't know. A woman with amazing pretty gray hair at grocery outlet. So if you don't know what a grocery outlet is, I mean, you could assume what it is. It's probably an outlet full of groceries. But it is a place up here in Washington called Grocery Outlet, and they have a amazing jingle, and it goes something like this: Grocery Outlet, Bargain Market. Now, when I hear this on the radio, it's like Grocery Outlet, Bargain Market. When I hear this, immediately my brain goes to Grocery Outlet, Bargain Fart Shit. Grocery Outlet, Bargain Fart Shit. But this man is finding love in Grocery Outlet, Bargain Fart Shit. And here it goes. Pretty unlikely that you will see this, but just in case, we talk for a couple minutes about how wonderful it is that women are comfortable letting their hair be naturally gray. their hair be naturally gay. I hope to run into you again sometimes. I complimented you for your hair, but neglected stupidly to say that everything about you is beautiful. Be well. Oh, my man. He is hard up for that fucking silver fox. He just wants to tell you everything's so beautiful about you, including your giant gray bush. Has nothing to do. He doesn't want to just have sex with you. He wants to tell you that you're beautiful. Zia, get out of here and stop scratching your butt. You go away, all right? Fucker. Scratching your asshole. Get out of here! The next one is just titled Mountain Lake Terrace. It's not very descriptive. He or she does not have anything identifiable in that. So I was like, let me print that one out and see what this is about. Anyway, I saw you at the meat store. I saw you today at the meat store. Fucking perfect place and opportunity to find the woman of your hopes and dreams. Her name's probably Tammy. She's out there. She's in there smoking cigarettes. And she works behind there. She's got a fucking white smock on, and she's fucking covered in blood. I saw you at the meat store. Not a good start. You should have said which meat store. There's plenty up here. A lot of people eat the meat, you know. We met eyes, so I know you saw me. God! I have missed you so bad. I'd give anything to have your friendship again. You will be surprised to know that you are my inspiration that gets me through each day. You are the strongest person I know. There's so much I want to tell you. From D. He probably wants to tell you he's got herpes. Like, that's... He's like, oh my God, Tammy. You're so strong. You'll definitely be able to handle the fact that I gave you chlamydia fucking 5 years ago. How's that going, by the way? I'm glad we're here in the meat store. You're so strong, Tammy. This last one is coming out of Elma, Washington. It's a rough place up there. Let me fucking preface this by saying Elma's a rough place. It's on the way near where Kurt Cobain was like, you know, shot himself with a locked door from the outside and shit. And it definitely wasn't Courtney Love that did it. There's a place called Elma in Washington. It's on the way. There's like an old abandoned nuclear power plant near there. I take my son fishing sometimes up there. And, rough place. It's on the way to fucking Ocean Shores and all this beautiful gray skied, fucking rocky, miserable beaches out there. Ocean Shores is nice, but it's not a majestic paradise. You know, you think of the Pacific Northwest and the Washington coastline, you must be thinking like tropical paradise. I hate to inform you that it's not. It's just not. But on the way to the place where I go each year with my son for some good old times, you bypass Elma, and that's where this one's coming out from. This is titled Sneaky Pete and Ginger Ninja. I'm going to read this just as he wrote it, too. So just be prepared. Gods, I miss you. With exclamation point. The way we laughed together. The way you felt in my arms. The way I wanted a future with you. Do you even think of me? Ever look at the pictures? Ever think of reaching out? If so, I'm here waiting for you. Love, fucking Turkey Neck Tom and Ginger Ninja. First off, okay, you live in fucking Alma. Calm down with all the romantical shit. Secondly, like, if you are going to be romantical, the only place that you could put that is on Craigslist. That just seems fitting. From Elma, Washington. Like, that's like the suicide capital of the fucking Pacific Northwest, which the Pacific Northwest is like the suicide capital of the fucking United States. But it's so weird. Like, who the fuck is putting this kind of shit? I can only imagine that they're doing it to like leave like a digital geocache or something. Like, there's some, like, it's a mystery. I don't understand why the fuck like people put this stuff. It's like sad. It's fucking miserable. It's hilarious. It's a drama. It's a dramedy. It's a comedy. And the people are so fucking lonely. COVID, I would say COVID's fucked up a lot of people over the past few years, but that shit's been going on since Craigslist was a thing. Missed connections, you've heard of it. But to stoop so low, to go on there and be like, hey, dry cleaning lady at the fucking laundromat in fucking fucking Turkey Neck, Washington, like, you had great, I love the way you fold. Like, I was a 50-year-old dude that's unemployed and broke and was wearing a trench coat and no fucking shirt because I gotta do laundry. Call me if you want to go get some fucking strudel sometime or something. Like, it's fucking nuts. I don't know. They're hilarious. I like them, and I hope you enjoyed that little fucking thing. If you want me to do more, let me know. DM me on fucking social media. And while you're on social media, you can check out, follow us on Violent Professional and VioPro, the podcast network. Follow Mega Cosmic Adventure. That's a side project we did. Myself, Mark, my buddy Peter, my buddy Brandon. We did a side project. There's another episode to be coming out. And it's awesome. It's a science fiction podcast, little improvised comedy thing that we don't know where the story's going. I got a rough idea where we're going to take it, but we don't have any lines of dialogue that we're handed. We just have an outline, and we got to make a conversation out of it. It's like if I had somebody else, and we were like, what about this? What about this? What about that? And like, we create a fucking story out of it, and it sounds like you're listening to an actual event. It's kind of like listening to the dialogue of a movie, but it's not a movie. It's a fucking podcast, science fiction podcast with hours and hours of fucking editing by yours truly and hours of fucking vocals by myself and my friends in this podcast studio. And it's a blasty blast. Go check out Mega Cosmic Adventure. I think if you type in Mega, the only person that comes up other than that is Megan Fox, who has absolutely beaten her fucking whatever the fuck, Machine Gun Kelly, from being a rapper into a whatever the fuck he is now, a blue-haired fucking transvestite, I guess. Listen, this is something else I got to bring up to your attention. If you think I'm just here, just clean and sober because I talked all that shit about not drinking earlier, yes, I am sober as a fucking stone right now, but I also am fucking hyped up on energy, and I choose different kinds. I take breaks for some, so there is one in mind that I love to talk about and will share with you. It's Strikeforce Energy. You can go check that out at strikeforceenergy.com and use code EvilVibes at checkout for all the fucking evil vibes that you can handle. You know, get Strikeforce in your belly and go there. Use the code. Get 20% off. Get that shit shipped directly to your door. You don't even need to fucking go to the store to get your favorite energy drink. You can get a fucking pump, and then it just goes right in your face every morning. And you don't have to go to the store to get a fucking energy drink to do karate or whatever the fuck you do on a day-to-day basis. You're out there breaking boards. Well, get some Strikeforce Energy. You know, what's so fucking hard about that? Get some Strikeforce Energy. God damn it. Go to strikeforceenergy.com. Use code EvilVibes to get 20% off your favorite American-made energy drink. This shit ain't from China. It ain't from Russia. It ain't from fucking Ukraine. It ain't from fucking whatever country you want to say. It's from fucking, it's made in America. And we need to support this goddamn economy to grow again. You know? Anyway, thank you for checking out this episode of the Violent Professional Podcast. Go check out violentprofessional.com. Follow us on Instagram and tell your friends about us to help us grow. And give us a good rating. That'd be dope as fuck. And with that, we'll see you next time. Peace.